Let's go. So let's get our body warmed up, ready for Joseph's Classical Pilates. So as always, you might need a little cushion as a prop for today for some of the movements. We're going to be lying down to begin with. And then, as always, just having a quick check-in with the position that you're in, with your posture. Just checking the feet in line within the fronts of the knees, fronts of the hips towards the shoulders, and letting the chin just nod down towards the chest, using a folded up towel underneath your head if you need to. And then just lift your toes off the floor. So keep your heels on the floor, lift your toes off the floor, spread them all out, and then place them down on the floor. Thinking about that tripod under each foot, the big toe, the little toe, the back of the heel, get that solid foundation. And then let's just breathe for a moment. Take a breath in. And then just letting that breath out. Just let the body relax just for a moment before it starts to work. And again, in through the nose. And we're just going to let that breath out, just letting everything relax. Right, let's start activating the core. So take another breath. As you let the breath out, draw your belly button into the spine. That's all you're doing. You're not lifting up, just activate the core. Feel that internal muscle wrap around the spine and under the belly button. And then just release it. Just let it relax for a moment. Let's do that again. Take a breath. As you breathe out, as you activate the core, making sure you're not creating any tension in your shoulders, no tension in the neck. And then let's release it. Gradually, let's start to move the spine bit by bit though. So take a breath in. First of all, it's always the core, belly button in. Then we're seeing if we can use the core muscles to imprint the lower back. And then all we're doing is curling the pelvis. We're not actually lifting the back off the floor. We're just seeing how close or how much we can press the back to the mat. And then we're going to release it back to our neutral pelvis. Let's go again. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to tighten the belt first, imprint the lower back, curl the pelvis, and then we're just going to lift just the bottom off the floor. Remember, we want the pubic bone to be higher than the hip so we can open out that lumbar spine, and then we're just going to lower down and then return it back to that neutral position. A little higher each time, so take a breath first. As you breathe out, draw the navel in, curl your pelvis, and just lift the bottom off the floor and the bottom of the back. Hold it for a second, and then we're trying to get into each section of the spine. So we're not skipping over any parts of the spine as we lower down and return to neutral. And then starting again, breath in. As you breathe out, we're imprinting first, curling that pelvis. This time peeling a little bit more of your spine away from the floor. Checking we've still got that equal pressure on each foot. Curling the pelvis and just really visualize the way the spine moves as you lower back down and then release. And again, take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're imprinting, then curling, and then we're peeling up. So a little bit higher, so maybe the back of the rib cage starts to come off the floor. Then we're going to lower back down, curling the pelvis, and then we return back to neutral. One more for now, so breath in. As you breathe out, we're pressing the lower back, we're tilting. We're peeling up into shoulder bridge. Once we're up in that shoulder bridge, let's check in once again with the feet, that tripod under each foot. And then curl your pelvis as you lower and then release. So let's mobilize our shoulders now. So really be mindful of the rib cage. And we don't want this rib cage to lift. As the arms lift, we're only taking them as far back as we can keep the back of the rib cage connected to the floor. Then we're opening them out, back down to the sides of the body, then reversing it. So we need to get lots of mobility in the shoulders for the session today. Then your arms lift up to the ceiling, and then let's start to add that rotation in the spine as your legs roll to the right. As you bring it back, can you open your arms out to the side? Lift your arms up, and now let the legs roll to the left side. And as your legs come back, the arms open out. And again, the arms lift up as your legs roll to the right side. Your legs come back as the arms reach out to the side. And again, the arms lift up and your legs roll to the left side. And then you're just going to leave the arms here as you come back to the center. Now we're going to do our opposite arm and legs. So slide the right leg along the floor. Stretch the left arm above the head. Make sure the lower back doesn't arch any more than it already is. Then we're going to bring the arm and leg back in. Now let's do the other side. So we're focusing on rib cage. We're focusing on stability in the spine. Bring it back to the center. We're going to do one more. So we're opening the front of the hip, mobilizing the shoulder, bring it back. And again, it's that opposite arm, opposite leg without your lower back arching anymore. As you come back, just check you're in that position to start your shoulder bridge. Turn the palms, press down. And as soon as you press your arms down, activate the core. Can you imprint the lower back anymore? Then you're going to peel your spine up, holding it for a second. And then we're trying to curl the pelvis, trying to get each section of the spine down onto the floor one by one. And then once it's down there, your arms up and over and the rib cage stays down. The arms are reaching out back down to the sides of the body. Then you're reversing it. The arms circle and the arms come up. Leave the arms up. Let your legs roll to the right. As you bring it back, you're going to open your arms out. As your legs roll to the left, the arms lift up to the ceiling. As you bring it back, the arms are opening out to the side. One more each side, so arms up, legs to the right. Arms out, legs come back to the center. One more, arms up, legs to the left. Leave the arms up as they come back. Opposite arm and leg slides along the floor. And then you're going to bring it back. And again, let's do the other side. Opposite arm and leg. And then you're going to bring it back. And again, we're going to do one more on each side. And then we bring it back. And again, that opposite arm and leg. And then we're going to bring it back. Now this time, your right hand's going to go behind the head. We're just going to practice curling up. Your left hand's on the rib cage. Now remember, as you curl up, you're not just pulling on the head. It's the action of your rib cage pressing down. So we're trying to get almost that C curve in the top of the back. So we look forwards. We draw the navel in. And then with control, just as you did on your shoulder bridge, let your spine lower, head goes down last. Let's go again. So the back of your rib cage sinks towards the floor. As you curl up, make sure your eye line is towards the tops of the knees. And then you're going to lower back down. We're just going to swap the hands over this time. And same thing, the action of the rib cage presses to the floor. You curl your spine, look towards the legs, and then just slowly lower back down. And we're going to do one more. So we're curling up and we're looking towards the legs, and then we're going to lower back down. Now this time, let's stretch the arms out, let them hover. Try that action again without support your head, so the back of the rib cage is curls you up. You reach forwards, you look towards the legs, and then you lower back down. One more time for now. Now, as always, you adapt, you modify. If you need to support your head, you do that. Or you can always leave this part of the movement out, chin to the chest, head drops down. We're back to the beginning. Breath in. As you breathe out, let's imprint and tilt. Notice if you're getting more mobility in the spine the more we do this, and then curl your pelvis, letting that spine lower back down. Once it's down there, ready for the shoulders, your arms lift up and over. Notice if you're getting more movement in the shoulder joints, bring it back. Then reverse it, the arms open out to the side, up to the ceiling. Your legs are rolling to the right side. As you bring it back, open the arms out to the side. Your arms are lifting as your legs roll to the left side. And the arms open out as you bring it back. One more each side, arms up, legs roll to the right. Arms out, legs back to the center. Arms up, legs roll to the left. You leave your arms up as you bring it back to the center. Opposite arm, opposite leg, we lengthen out. Then we're going to bring the arm and leg back. So this is all about stability in the spine. We want the spine to stay still. and the pelvis to stay still as you move the arms and legs, opposite arm and leg. And then we're going to bring it back. And again, that opposite arm and leg. And then you're going to bring it back. We're going to turn the palms forwards or use your hand behind your head. Let's do that curl up, rib cage, pressing down. We're curling up. We've got the 100. You're reaching the arms down. Now draw the belly button in. Bring a leg to tabletop. Tighten that belt. Make sure the stomach doesn't lift. Other leg up. Bring your legs together. Remember all your options. Listen to your body. Now, as you lift the arms up and down, can you do that without moving anything else apart from the arms? We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, and out. We're tightening that belt all the time. So remember your options. Hands supporting your head on the floor on the head cushion, but tighten that belt. Either leave your legs bent or extend the legs out, but we're focusing on pressing the lower back. We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, pulling that belly button in, pressing the lower back. We've got one more round, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, stay there, bend your legs, separate them, leave the right leg up, let the left leg lower, let your arms lower if your head is still up, let the head lower. We're going to do our bent leg circles. So your right leg is bent. Now left leg, you're either going to shuffle it forwards or fully extend it out. We're going to cross the right leg over the body and the leg circles and center. Cross, down. So now we're mobilizing that hip joint. We've got to still use these core muscles to keep the back still. Across, down, out. We're going to reverse it. We're going to go out and down, across, center. All that synovial fluid in our joints, we're lubricating that. Down, across, center, out, down, across. Now we're going to stay here. Option 1, leave the leg bent, straighten it slightly or fully straighten it for full leg circles. Across, down, out, center. If this doesn't feel good on you, then bend your legs, do it bent, or make the movement smaller. Use your core to keep the back still. Now get ready, we're going to reverse it. You're going to go out, down, across, center, and out, down, across, center, again out, down, across, one more, out, down, across, center. You're going to bend the right leg in if it was straight. You're going to slide it along the floor. Both feet are flexed. Arms up. Let's go into that flexion of the upper back. So press down. We're going to curl up. We're trying to look towards the toes. And then we're going to go back down. And again, so remember all your options. Hands behind the head. If you need to. We're going to go into a roll up. Now use your hands to assist you if you need to. Draw the belly button in towards the spine. Now remember, you can have that cushion under your lower back. Now when you come forwards, we're not collapsing the spine, but we're not straightening it either. We want to try and lose that curve in the lower back. We're scooping the belly button in. We're curling the pelvis. We want to open up the spine, tighten that belt, slowly lower your spine down, and the hands are above the shoulders. We're going to do 3 more. So you do what feels best for your body. Pull the belly button into the spine. Feel the shoulders slide down your back. Curl your pelvis as you articulate the spine. Try and have your legs squeezed together. That helps on this one. 2 more. And remember, sometimes this is not about strength. Sometimes this is about our anatomy. So if you've naturally got that lordotic spine, so you've maybe naturally got an arch in the lower back or an exaggerated arch, then it's going to be physically impossible. So assist yourself if you need to. We've got 1 more. We're drawing that belly button in towards the spine as we come up. That's it. And then we're curling the pelvis. As we go down, the arms go down, chin to the chest. Slide your right leg in. Slide your left leg in. Have a quick, we're going to do the left leg in a minute, I haven't forgot, but let's check in with the body. Maybe that right leg feels a little different to the left leg now. Ready from the beginning, take a breath. As you breathe out, we're imprinting, curling. See if you're getting more movement in the spine. Hold it at the top. So notice if that right hip is feeling any different to the left hip. As you lower all the way down, curling that pelvis till the last second. Once the bottom's on the floor, the arms are up and over. Remember that rib cage is down. Reach them out to the sides, back down to the sides of the body. Then reverse it. Open out your arms up to the ceiling. Your legs are rolling to the right side. And as you come back, your arms open out to the side. Your arms lift as your legs roll to the left side. And then the arms open out as you come back. One more each side. Arms lift, legs to the right. Arms out, legs to the center. Last one, arms lift, legs to the left. Leave the arms as you bring it back. Get ready for that opposite arm, opposite leg lengthening out. And then bring that arm and leg back in. And now your other side, opposite arm, opposite legs are lengthening out. Then you come back in. We've got one more on each side as you slide out. Then you're going to bring it back in. And again, that opposite arm, opposite leg lengthening out. Then you're going to bring it back in. Turn the palms, ready for that curl up. Rib cage down. As you curl up and you hold it there, we're lengthening the arms. We're pressing the lower back. Use hands behind your head if you need to. One leg tabletop, other leg tabletop, legs together, lengthen. We've got the second round of 100. So we want to lift the arms up and down, but without everything else moving. So we want the arms to be moving in the shoulder joint. We're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, legs out. If you want to go for that version, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pulling the belly button in, trying to press the lower back down to the floor. Last round, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bring the legs in, separate them. Now let your right leg lower, so your left leg stays up. Let your arms lower, chin to the chest. Let the head lower. Right leg can stay bent, or straighten it a bit, or fully straighten it. Let's do our bent leg circles with the left leg. It crosses down, round, out, center, across. But we're still using the core muscles because we don't want any movement in the spine here. One more, across, down, out. We're going to reverse it. Let's go out, down, across, center, again out, down, across, center, 2 more out, down, across, center, 1 more out, down. Now, option 1, leave the leg bent, straighten it a bit or fully straighten it. You choose. Across, down, out, center, across, down, out, center, 2 more across, down, out, center, across, down. Get ready, we're going to reverse it. Go out, down, across, center, and again out, down, across, center, 2 more out, down, across, 1 more out, down. We're going to leave that left leg up. Once again, we've got that flexion, ready to hold on to the back of the leg. Remember the thigh or the calf, point the right leg, let the right leg hover. Now keep your upper body still. Single straight leg, lower lift, pulse. 1, 2, breathe out and change again, pulse, pulse and change. So now we've all mobilized that hip joint, we're stretching the back of the leg. And as we do this, we're seeing if we can press the lower back into the floor. We're pulling the belly button into the spine. We've got 4 more here to go. And again, pulse, pulse and change. 1 more on each side, change, pulse, pulse, change. Bring both legs up, bend your legs, hold the backs of your thighs. See if you can roll yourself up, or if not, use your hands. We're rolling like a ball. Make sure there's nothing behind you. Bring the feet in, wrap the hands around the shins. Now, like on that roll up, we're not collapsing down, but we definitely haven't got a flat back. We want to be rounded, our eye lines towards the toes, and we're seeing if we can pull this belly button in so much that we open out the lower back. We're just doing the prep. We're just lifting up. We want to keep this rounded. The shoulders are down, belly button is in, tap down. And again, remember on all the rolling and all the inversions, if you have osteoporosis, you don't do the full version. Neck shoulder issues, you don't do the full version. If you're new to this, you watch before you try it. So you either stay with this version or you go into it. So as you go back, your head doesn't touch the floor. You're trying to open out the lower back and then you roll and then you come up. So you've got to really open the lower back. So you're pulling your belly button in, curling that pelvis. It's all about the pelvis here. Curl it, draw the navel in, roll back and then up. We're just going to do 2 more. Tucking under, draw the navel in. And we're going to do 1 more. Tuck the pelvis. We're rolling. And then we're going to come back up. We're going to stay up, feet down. We're going to go into our spine stretch. So let's sit with either the legs straight or slightly bent. But we're going to open them out. Now this time we want to have this long spine to begin with. So you might need a cushion to sit on as a prop. Arms are front, the shoulders are down. Now feel the length in the spine. Take a breath in. Now we're moving from our neck first. The neck curves forwards, then the upper back. Now we're still trying to draw the belly button in and we're still trying to lose this curve in the lower back. So the more we tighten the belt, the more we're going to lose the curve in the lower back. And then slowly we're restacking. As you restack the spine, there's that right side, the bottom, push down as equally as the left. When you get to the top, breathe in. See if you can grow taller. As you breathe out, it's your neck. And then it's the upper back. And again, just get that picture of your spine in your head, the way it moves. Now, when it's down there, can you draw the belly button in? Feel the lower back pressing back. And then you're restacking. Pushing the right side, the bottom, down. As much as the left. Breathe in. Feel the crown of the head float up. Roll down. Remember, we're using all those little tiny muscles in between the vertebrae, the multifidus muscles here. Feel the scapula slide down the back. Draw the navel in. And then restack all the way up. We're going to do 1 more. Breath in. Can you lengthen even more? And then let's move from the neck. Visualize the top part of the spine. The back of the rib cage, draw the belly button and see if you can press the lower back backwards. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, we're going to come up. We'll cross the arms over the chest. The legs slide together now. Again, they can be bent, they can be straight, but make sure that your feet don't move here. Lengthen and we rotate to the right and you just look over the right shoulder, but you make sure the right foot is level with the left and you're not leaning backwards. And then lengthen as you come back. Now let's rotate to the left. You'll probably find one side a little tighter than the other, but make sure that your feet don't start to move, because that tells you that you're moving the pelvis and that the spine isn't doing the full movement. So rotate to the right, 2 little pulses, 1, 2, and then bring it back. Rotate to the left, 2 little pulses from the ribcage, 1, 2, and then bring it back. Rotate to the right. Pulse 1, 2, and then bring it back. Rotate to the left. Pulse 1, 2. Option 1, keep your arms across your chest. Option 2, open the arms out. Right. Ribcage 1, 2, and center and left. Ribcage 1, 2, and center. And again right. Ribcage 1, 2, bring it back and left. Ribcage 1, 2, bring it back, arms in front, curl your pelvis, draw the navel in, rolling down. See if you can open up that lower back all the way down, and as you go down, slide your legs in and bring the knees in towards you. We've got roll overs now, so lots of different variations. It's probably a great idea to have a cushion or something under your bottom so that your bottom is already up. We don't want any head cushions under the neck. We want to keep that alignment chin to the chest. We're just going to let the legs go down a bit. And then we're just going to bring the knees in. That's all we're doing. And maybe the bottom lifts up a little bit. So remember, osteoporosis, don't do this full version. Neck shoulder issues, don't do this full version. If you've never done it before, have a little look. But this is your prep. Stay with this or extend the legs. They lower and now they roll over. Now you haven't got any weight on your neck. Your arms are pressed down into the floor. You're still trying to open up the lower back, so you draw the navel in. We're trying to control it, which is a bit challenging at times. And then your legs lower forwards, and you're going to circle the legs out, bring them together, and then up, and then lower down. Now don't circle the legs, just lower them down, keep them together. And again, 3 more. This is great to weight bear on the vertebrae. Their bones, like all other bones in our body, need to be strong. It's hard to talk when I'm doing this one. Slowly lower the spine. And then 1 more. And again, if you're lordotics, if you've got quite an exaggerated arch in the lower back, maybe your spine doesn't like this one. And that's fine. You leave this out if this doesn't feel good, holding it there. Now bend your legs. Hold it. Now I want you to go into some hip rolls. So I want you just to have your arms to the side. You can turn the palms to the ceiling, palms to the floor, over to the side, just a little bit today, and then bring it back. Now over to the other side. So it's not a big movement like we normally do on hip rolls. This is going to become an exercise called hip twist. Bring it back, and again. Over to the other side, bring it back. We're going to do 1 more, and then bring it back, and then over to the left side, and then we're going to bring it back. We're going to lift the head, grab the legs, pull yourself up or use your hands. Now your hands are going to go behind you here, and we're not sinking into the shoulders, we're lifting up. If this is not good on your shoulders, on your arms, you can lean back against a wall. We're going to see if we can extend the legs, and then we're just going to let the toes tap. So remember, you can be leaning against a wall, or you extend and then tap. And again. Now bend your legs. Now we're going to do those hip rolls, but we don't want the arms to move. We're going to roll to the right. It's just a little movement. Now we don't want to be twisting these shoulders. Bring it back. If this doesn't feel good, just lie down on the floor. Repeat what we just did. Keep the shoulders square at the front. Bring it back. Keep going. You can be doing this, leaning back against a wall. And that's a great one, because you're going to get that feedback if your shoulders are lifting. Feel how this works. Your obliques a little different. This is one of Mr. Pilates' classical ones. And then bring it back. So it really works those obliques a lot harder. And then all the way back. Well done. We're going to come up and release. We're going to go into our mermaids. So bend your legs, or have them bent in front, and reach out. Shoulders are down, and we're going to go over. Another important spinal movement, this lateral flexion. Lengthen out. Hold it. Breathe into the side. And then bring it back up. And then we're going to go again. We're going to go over and lengthen and stretch and hold it, breathing into the side. And then we're going to bring it back up. And again, just 2 more here as we lengthen up and over and hold it, breathing into that side. And then we're going to come back up. And again, we're going up and over. Stay there, lengthen. We're going to do our snake and twist. So lift your arm up, stay here. Now this arm bends as it snakes under the other arm. You look to the armpit behind you. You try and let all the breath out your lungs so that you've got more movement for your body and your spine. And then bring it back. And you're going to keep the hand on the floor. We've got 3 more. So remember, use your breath and let every last bit of breath out, as if you're wringing out a damp cloth, and then see if you can rotate even more. And then bring it back. 2 more here, breathing out. Rotate, keep breathing out and see if you can rotate even more. And then come back. And you've got that one more time. So you're breathing out, you're stretching, you're rotating, you're breathing out even more. And then bring it back. We're going to come up, and let's do that counter stretch. So now we're going the other way. We're lengthening the arm. We're not going to get a lot of movement here, but maybe you feel quite an intense stretch down the side. And then we're bringing it back, and then we're going to go straight round to the other side. So you're either swinging your legs round, or you've got your legs bent in front. Open out, reach the spine up, and then over to the side. Lengthen and stretch and hold it there. Can you lengthen even more? And then bring it back to that start position. And we're going to go again, up and over. Let's lengthen and stretch, really lengthen even more. And then we're going to bring it back. And again, just 2 more here. As you stretch, hold it, breathing in as you lengthen. And then breathe out, bring it back. We've got 1 more, lengthen and stretch. Ready for your snake and twist. So the arm lifts, your head turns to look at it, and then your eyeline follows that arm. Now it goes through the gap, but you're trying to empty your lungs. So let every last bit of breath out and see, can you rotate that spine anymore? And then bring it back. Eyeline follows it as you come back. And again, that way the neck is moving with the rest of the spine at the same time. You're rotating. And then you're going to bring it back. And again, we're going to do 2 more. Breathe out as you turn and you rotate. And then you're going to bring it back to that start position. And then we've got 1 more. You're breathing out as you turn and you're rotating that spine. And then you come back to the start position. From here, come up. Let's do that counter stretch. Even just lengthening the arm up, you're going to stretch all that fascia, all the muscles down the side of your spine, holding it here, breathing in, breathing out, and then let's bring it up. We're going to do neck pull. It's got nothing to do with your neck. That's just the name of the exercise. So you're going to stretch your legs in front. You might want to have a cushion behind you because it involves a bit of a roll up as well. So you're going to have either your legs can be bent or they can be straight. The important bit is to have this straight spine. So if you sink down, then bend your legs so you can straighten it. Let's just do a few preps for this. Hands behind your thighs. Now it's a hinge back. So as you hinge back, you haven't rounded the back, your ear, shoulder, hip in alignment. Then let's just come back up. Let's do that again. So that subtle left with the chest, you hinge. Now stay from this hinge, start to curl under, round the spine. So now you're looking towards your legs. Now round your spine as you come up. You're rounding forwards over your legs. And then you're restacking the bottom of the back, then the middle of the back, then the top of the back. Head up last. So you do that little hinge, really draw the navel in. Then from here, curl your pelvis, feel the spine rounding. And then stay there. Now belly button in, you're rounding forwards. And then you're restacking. Let's do 1 more. So this is option 1. Hands on the backs of the legs. Rounding, coming up. All the way up, lengthen up. Option 2, this is why it's called neck pull. Your hands are behind your head. So you hinge back. And then you curl under. Now don't go right back. You round forwards, over the legs, and then you restack. So it's exactly the same movement. You hinge, and then you curl under, and then you're rounding as you come up, lengthen. So you do whatever version is best for you. Either hold the legs, maybe arms in front, but get that movement as you hinge, then tuck under, and then round, forward, and then restack, and again hinge. So go back to as far as you can come back up. So you're rounding, forwards, lengthen the spine. 3 more, so it's that hinge, and then curl under. Remember, you don't have to go all the way down, you just go down a little bit, And then come back up, rounding. And then lengthen. And again, hinge, tucking under. And then coming up, pulling the belly button in as you round. And then lengthen. Good news, last one, back. Curling under. And then coming up. See, I can't talk on that one. Excellent. And lengthen up. If you did have the hands behind the head, going to open them out and release it. You're just going to slide your legs in. You're going to roll onto your side. We're going to do our side kick. We're nearly done. So we're going to do our side kick, but your legs are bent. Now you've got lots of options here. Arms stretched, arm bent, or prop yourself up. Yeah, we'll just stay with those options. I'll not get carried away. Now make sure ear, shoulder, hip, foot is in alignment. Now this is a weird position for your neck, but it's one of the classical moves. So please don't feel you've got to do it like this. You might want to keep that spine in a straight line. But we're going to stretch the leg out. We're lengthening it out, flexing the foot. Now remember, this is coming from the hip. So it's not the back moving, it's the leg moving in the hip joint. 1, 2, pike, go back and flex. Bring it forwards. 1, 2, pike, go back and lengthen. Good. So we're strengthening this hip flexor, then we're lengthening and stretching it. We're going to do 3 more. And go back, and again we got 2 more, and then back. Let's do 1 more, and then we're going to go back and really lengthen it out, and then release, place it on top of the other leg before we do the other side. We're going to do our swan. We're going to do baby swan though, so let's have the legs slightly apart. Have your elbows and hands on the floor. Check that your scapula, the shoulders are sliding away from the ears, and then just breathe in. We're curling up. Now the elbows are on the floor, the hands are on the floor. Visualize and focus on length in the spine. So not just lifting up and down, we're trying to create length in between the vertebrae before we start a move. And then lower back down. So our lower back is still, the rib cage is staying on the floor. We're just curling up. And then we're lowering back down. And again, breathing in, just curl up, and then lower back down. Now, option 1, I want you to stay with this version. Option 2, your hands are under the shoulders, your elbows are off the floor, and you lift a little higher each time. So remember, there isn't a harder version or an easier version. It's understanding your body and your spine, because everyone's totally different, and then what feels good on it. And again, so elbows are on the floor or off the floor, but we're not hanging into these shoulders. If the shoulders are lifting, then take it down a notch. We want to keep the scapula down away from the ears. We're going to do 2 more here. Whatever version you're doing, you're going to lower. We're going to do 1 more, and then you're just going to lift your bottom, sit back on the heels. 1 hand on top of the other. Forehead on the backs of the hands. Breathe for a moment. Breathe into your back. Thoracic breath. So we're trying to target the lungs into the upper back. So we're breathing in. Letting that breath out. Taking a breath in. Just letting that breath out. 1 more. We're going to take a breath. Now sit back on the heels. Roll up because we've got our side kick. Single leg kick on the other side. No side kick, that's right. Let's go on the other side. Legs bent. Remember, get that line, your options for your arms. Whatever feels best, most importantly for your neck. Stretch out, flex, lengthen. Remember, this is coming from the hip. There's no movement in the pelvis. We bring it forwards. 1, 2, pike, go back again. 1, 2, pike, go back again. 1, 2, pike, go back. Let's do 3 more here. Good. And again, 2, and back. 1 more. 1, 2, and let's go back, really lengthening out that hip. And then we're going to bend it, and we're going to release it. Now we're going to roll onto our front. So we did baby swan, we did swan, this one's swan dive. So what, and releasing those hips will help in this one. So I want you to lie on the floor, First of all, like we did before with the elbows and hands on the floor. Then we're just going to lift up. Your elbows stay on the floor, but we're making sure the shoulders stay down. And then as we lower, we're just seeing if maybe the legs can hover off the floor a little bit. Maybe they don't, and that's fine. Get the feeling, activate the glutes. And then you come up just a little bit. Elbows stay on the floor. And then you lower, and you're just seeing if the legs can lift a bit. Now stay with that version, or bring your hands in with your elbows out. And then you come up. And then as you lower, the legs lift up, so you're rolling. So you get some glute work here. You're getting all that extension in the spine. But again, listen to your body, please. Work with what feels best for you. Think of this movement. We've got extension in the hips. We've got extension in the spine. We're doing the opposite to what our body does every day. So we're getting that balance. If it doesn't feel good, please adapt, please modify. It's your last one, and then we're going to lift the bottom. Well done. You might have felt those glutes working hard there. We're going to sit back on the heels, one hand on top of the other. Let the forehead just rest down. And let's try that thoracic breath work. We're trying to breathe in, we're trying to fill the lungs, but we're trying to guide the lungs to expand into the top of your back, your thoracic spine. So using the breath is really important to stretch all the tissue inside our body from the inside out. We're stretching the muscles in class from the outside, but we want to also get that work inside. So take a breath, letting the breath out. Take a breath in. Just letting that breath out. And again, one more. Take a breath in. Now, as you breathe out, we're just going to roll up. You're going to turn round. We're finishing off now. So I want you to stretch your legs out, arms in front. Draw your belly button in. Try and get that curve in the lower back. We're rolling down. 10 counts though. That's the catch. 10 counts to go down. Pull your navel in. Roll down for 10. And 9. Squeeze your legs together. 8. Curl that pelvis. 7. Draw the belly button. 6. Maybe you go down fast all of a sudden. That's fine. I'll keep counting. 4. And 3. And 2. Well done. And 1. We're lying down. Slide one leg in. Slide the other leg in. Bring one knee in towards your chest and the other knee, and let's hug the knees in. Remember, as we hug the knees in, this is opening out our lower back because we've strengthened a lot of those deep postural muscles today. So it's important to release them and stretch them. So just letting the legs rock a little bit to the side, slowly back to the center, and then over to the other side. And then bring it back. And again, over to the side. Bring it back. And I know this classical Pilates that Joseph Pilates created right back in 1940 are really challenging. Over to the side. Bring it back. Over. And then over to the left. You're going to come back to the center. Place your right foot on the floor. Left foot on the floor, but have your legs together, palms to the ceiling, and now let your legs roll to the right. And then bring it back, and just let them roll to the left side. And then come back to the center. And again, over to the right. Coming back, and then over towards the left side. And bring it back. We're going to do that one more, each side over to the right. And then back through the center. And then just let your legs roll over to the left. Bring them back to the center. And then when you're ready, good news, it's done. You've strengthened your body hardcore, stretched it. And I hope you feel good and strong after that. Well done.